Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices for the 22nd of September. I'm looking at this current move up through here as wave 1, and we could pull back for wave 2. The alternative count is that this is just a wave 4 here, and we've got one more move to move in here, and then we've got the larger correction to play out here. So we just need to be a little bit mindful about this, but let's go in and have a look at this particular move through here as a wave 4 low going up to wave 5 low here, or just the simple fact of working out what this move down here is and what is expected above that. So in terms of the move to the upside, we can look at it as wave 5 or 3. And if we were looking at it in terms of wave 3 here, then we'll be looking for wave 4 to pull back into this space here, and we'll take a look at that on the 4-hour chart just starting. So as you know, we've been working through here as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. So we'll be looking at this in terms of wave 1 here, 2 here, and looking at, well, let's go in and have a little look at this further here on the 1-hour chart. We should do the trick. So from wave B high here, we're looking at wave 1, an A and a B and a C for wave 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave here, and fourth wave and fifth wave to the downside. So as a wave 4 here, we'll need to finish off at this point here, so that will take us down into a little bit lower into group 1 of 12,000, so 100, 200 and 300 within that space. The other point here too is that wave 3 can already be completed, so just take you in on the 15-minute chart here for this. So this is probably the likely count here in this form. So from the top here, we've got wave 2, then wave 1 here, and if we take this as wave C, this is the high on the cash market. If we took the market here, then we would put this over to here, and then that would give us 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to this particular point here, and then wave one here and wave 2 here. It doesn't really matter because it still leaves us with wave 2 here in this instance. So we're looking at this here in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave here, an A and a B and a C. That will just take us a tad higher up into the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, and then drop down. Now, one of the main things here that I just want to touch on is that well, we've got group 2 here, which will become the resistance now for this. We've bounced off roughly the 12,500. And this is going to be a sticky bit of a sticky number here. Now, the market will either come down here and make a new low below here. That's what it needs to do, but it may make it at 400 or it may make it at 300. If it makes it at 300, expect a strong bounce, so make sure that you're taking profit at that particular point in that space there. I'll just go to the tick chart here. I just want to have a look at this in a little bit of detail here. So as a wave 3 low here, we're looking for an A and a B and a C wave here. It does look like it in first glance that we've got, because we look for 5 waves in this C wave here of 1 and 2 here. But I think this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So I think we've got a wave 4 here and then a wave 5 to go a little bit higher here. One of the things that you could do though is look to short under the 6,000 if you're down at that point, you know. Otherwise, yeah, so just go over this again as wave 1 here and 2 here, then 1 and 2 to here, wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So this can actually pull back to this wave 4 here before heading a little bit higher. So an A and a B and a C wave down here a little bit, and then wave 5 pushing up a little bit higher there. Let's just go back to the 15-minute chart and check out the actual target in the Fibonacci retracement level here. So Right, so it can come to 12.8 basically, so it's quite a lot higher, but I wouldn't imagine that. The wave 4 1 lesser degree within group 2 here at the 12,720 area would be probably something that we're looking at. And also too, if the obviously the market's under a lot of pressure, so you can short again at 12,600 in that space just to be safe at that point. Yeah, I mean, it looks like the A, the B here, then 1 and 2 here, and, well, that looks like all of the third wave here, doesn't it? A fourth wave and a fifth wave here. So, yeah, another little move to the upside for this before a turn here. So the A wave, the B wave, the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 that can come a bit lower here to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here, right on the 6,600, and then wave 5 coming in. Wave 5 really only needs to be as long as this first wave here, and then down from that. So you could probably short it a bit higher here if you wanted to, but 12.6 here. If the market does push up to this height here, then that leaves us with the 12,650, which is the lower end of group 2. So we could also short it from there. So if the market, let's just assume for a moment that the market does push up here and the market's up here around the 700 area, which you could probably short it in between that space and the 30. So 700 and 730 in that space, that would all be group 1 in there. That's where it's really going to struggle at that point in that space. So you could short it at that point and then look to add on the way down. So the 650 here as a retested resistance, you can add to that position, and you can add to the 600 and then just leave it at that point, because the market, any move down here is going to see a bounce back up at this point here. So we expect to see it lower, so it should be coming down to, say, the 400 here, but taking part profit at the 500 makes good common sense, because there will be a bounce and it's time consuming to get down to the rest of it at that point there. Okay, so that's that. It's pretty straightforward. And the FTSE is in, it's in a completely different zone, the FTSE. So, it's never really taken out its top from here. I know the DAX has struggled and so on. These European markets are very much like the Australian market, which is probably the real market, really. I mean, obviously the Feds have, got the old wheelbarrow and shovel out and filling in all the holes, so to speak. But, yeah, look, this whole pattern here has just sort of bothered me a lot. I mean, one of the reasons that it's bothered me a lot really is the tops that it's had in. It's had a top in here, much earlier in the piece than the other markets. And we could look at this as, an A, B, C down for wave, an A and a B and a C here for wave 2, but at the same time this can also be counted as bearish down through here, because the move up here, yes, we can we can get 5 waves out of it, but we can also get a corrective wave out of it, and it's pulled back 61.8%, which is on the 6,500, which is the medium level. Medium level is halfway between 2 major levels here in orange here, and it's a 61.8% from that high to that low. So I can also count this as bearish as well. So that's also bothered me. I mean, I'm in Australia, and obviously Australia and England have got a lot in common. Accountancy, law, trade, or all these sorts of things. We're just the sort of dog on the lead, really, to a point, and we're just an outpost mining place to a point too. So, but our banks, have actually given. I should check Barclays and that, but our banks have really just given up really 3 waves to the upside here. So, for our banks, we can expect to make a new low here. So I don't see any reason. I don't see anything really stopping the FTSE for having new lows coming in this continuing down and making new lows here. There is a strong case for that. I mean, even in the US markets where we've counted all the way up here, we can count 5 waves or we can count 3 waves up here. But even so, even if it's only 4 waves for, say, the S&P and the NASI, if they have another little move to go up, well then, yeah, sure, we'll get a rally here, but this one here is not going to make, the difference and move up here like that. It will rally a little bit, and then when the S&P turns over to go into wave 2, then it's, this will come down much harder at that point. So, there is a good case for this to be are bearish in terms of 1 and 2 here on the weekly chart, and 1 and 2 here, and even if that's wrong, still a 1 and 2 at some point here, and then either down for 1 and back for 2 here, or even a 4th wave here. I've seen 4th waves pull up 50-60% before, and to move up to a level. It's not like it's overlapped wave 1 here, by the way. So that's all kind of cool. So it can move down further from here, even if we can count 5 waves up here, then the retracement as a 61.8% is around 5,500, so that can come down to that point. But as always, we just take one step at a time. There is a situation with the DAX and the S&P and 500 and gold and a few things where we just have another little low come in, and then we work higher at that point. So we'll be mindful of the bigger picture, and we'll also be mindful of what's happening in the S&P and the other markets, and we'll look for that one more little low to come in here and then a turn up from that point. So we'll play the game, but it's just good to look at everything and be mindful of everything, because if things do slip away, we need to have that plan B in play straight away. So the move up here, yes, I can count it as 5 waves, but it's it's dodgy as the last ranch in Texas. But and also this particular move down through here, it can be counted in various ways as well. So I'm not too bothered about that. I'm just really, the DAX has rolled out of bed. If you've watched the S&P 500 video, you'll know where that is. We're also looking for that to end a little bit lower here, and that would be in line with this if we counted 5 waves from the top here down to this point here. So really, even though we don't know what the bigger picture is, we can only guess, and that's not going to really help us make money. So we really need just to stay with what we know in this space here and line that up with the other markets. So really, that's what it's all about at this stage. So don't worry about the big account. We just really want to work out from this high down to this low here in this case. Now we can see here that in a trend there's a beginning, a middle and an end, and obviously this is the beginning here, the building process, but building to the downside, and this is the middle of the trend, the most powerful point. So we're still we've still got more to go here for this. So this is group 2 here, 65, 72 and 80, and obviously it's bounced off the 80, well the 800 in this case, power of 10, but it should settle down into the lower end of this space here. So if it moves past, if we count 5 waves down here and then it moves past that, then we know that we've got a problem at that point. Well, not a problem, we know that we've got an opportunity that we can short to a much deeper, faster market to the downside at that point. Yeah, so taking it from that top little area through here, I was looking at it like this and just simply lining it up with the DAX at this point. So we're going to see a rally, and we're going to see another move down to 5.7. So if you're currently short at the moment, well, that's fantastic, and we can just move the stop down into some high place here for that. So in terms of, take it from the high here to the low here, it can move up a bit higher here for this, but I doubt it. It's more likely just to follow the DAX and have a little small one here and then down from that point. So it's something worth, if you're short, you can definitely hold through that. You've got the momentum behind you. You've got the wind in your sails. You're on your way. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. We can see the stochastics here just on the 1 hour here shooting up like a rocket. So it's not really in line with the current move down here. So the ratio of this to this doesn't match this to this. So that's telling you that there's, it's not going to last long. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.